The time has come to review Philip and Plein. Power, baby! This is probably the most obnoxious fragrance presentation I've ever seen. It's clearly supposed to look like, you know, this baller credit card. It says no limits, has an astronomical number on it. It's blacked out. It's got the sweet skull on it. So this fragrance, when it came out, is, if you couldn't tell, obviously designed by Philip and Plein, which is this designer. He's a fashion designer as well. He's got 2 fragrances so far. The video for this fragrance, the commercial, is the most obnoxious thing I've ever seen. It's as if he was trying to basically pitch to a director alpha male, right? It's, you know, helicopters. He's got jumping out of one at some point, I believe. There's like super expensive cars, just fire. He's doing push-ups, money, girls, guns, all this just obnoxious stuff. So this fragrance is supposed to basically be for those individuals, you know, the real alpha males or whatever. And it's gotten trashed since it came out. Fragranza gives it about a 3. I know Ash from Gen Sense bought this literally just to trash on it. Surprisingly, though, he wore it and actually really enjoyed it. So, interestingly enough, apparently the fragrance is actually good. I'm going to go over the notes now because it does have one of the most interesting and intriguing to me note breakdowns. So the top is black pepper, cardamom, star anise, cloves, watery notes, cinnamon, ginger, and bergamot. So you have this aquatic citrus opening that's packed full of punches, or packed full of spices, which is intriguing. The middle notes dark chocolate, bourbon, vanilla, incense, and amber. So then you have a mid that is very gourmand and heavy. And then you have a base of leather, woods, oud, so more woods, patchouli, and cedar. So it seems like a cluster. The mid and the base seem like they'd go really well. But then when you get to the opening, the combination of the watery notes with the spices and the citrus seems interesting. Now, I will say, Wanted by Night, some other heavier fragrances like that, they also have citrus openings. So this very well could work. Like I said, Ash from Gen Sense really did enjoy it when he actually smelled it, even though he bought it to trash it. I'm gonna, we'll see how it is. I knew the guy's super obnoxious, but this was a good deal. I got this for 31 bucks on, I think Fragrance Net for a tester. It's the cheapest I've ever seen it, for 80 mil. So that's why I picked it up. Couldn't say no for that. I'm gonna spray this directly on the skin. Atomizer is actually surprisingly good after that first spray. Ooh. Yeah, you get the woods out the gate and you get the spices. The woods are slightly animalic, but it could also be the leather that's mixing in there. Yeah, it's very spicy. You get the cinnamon, you get the spices in the opening. You're getting some of that woods and leather in there. And there is a sweetness to it, probably coming from the the vanilla. Not a whole lot of the citrus or the watery notes. You're getting this kind of dark chocolatey vibe too, backed by incense. The woods are very prominent though, and the oud is slightly animalic. It's not overly animalic. It's not something even to the extent of like Latent Exclusive or Pegasus Exclusive. It's also not medicinal like something that you would get in Oud Wood or Oud for Greatness. But it has this slight skankness to it. And the chocolate and the vanilla are certainly mixing in there. The cinnamon's there. Like I said, you can certainly get the spices in the opening. There's this. It's good though. It blends well. Like you can't really necessarily pick out the clove and the anise, but you can tell how they are coming together to make the scent profile. So yeah, the opening's good. It's definitely unique. I don't see it being a huge compliment getter. I don't see it being a huge, necessarily mass appealing fragrance from the opening. But it is unique. It certainly doesn't smell like anything I have right now. So props to them for that. And it smells like it's going to be really good in this sort of weather. Again, it's got a lot of woods. It's got some gourmandish kind of tendencies to it, and spices. You know, the watery notes and the citrus, they're there, but you're not really getting it. So I think this is going to really probably dry down into something really, really good. The opening is good too, though. It's definitely not what I was expecting, but that's good. I'm not expecting it in a good way. Because as much of a clusterfuck as the notes seemed, they actually work well together. Again, if you're somebody who just wants a ton of compliments or mass appeal, I don't think this is that. But I think as it's starting to kind of settle a little bit, some of that skankiness is going away. Some of the initial blast from the woods is going away. It's still woody, but you're getting more of that chocolate, vanilla, and amber. So I think maybe in the dry down, this would very likely probably be more mass appealing and more likely to get you compliments if that's what you're wanting. It's just that initial opening blast. The oud does have a slight kind of skankiness to it. Again, it's not overkill. So those of you who like oud fragrances, this is probably not going to be skanky to you at all. I am sensitive kind of to that kind of thing. So to me, it's like if there's skank to it at all, kind of usually is slightly off-putting to me, but this is working well. Yeah, I'm going to wear this, see how performance is. I can tell it's not going to be the loudest, but I only spray myself once. But it certainly sounds like it's going to stay around. It smells like it's going to stay around that kind of scent profile. I am interested to see how this smells in the dry down. It does smell really good. Again, it's unique, and I think that's what kind of sets it apart. It's got kind of like, I mean, it's filled with spices, but it's not like Spice Bomb or anything like that. It does its own thing. Very, very, very good. It has a sweetness to it, but it's not overly sweet because it has this nice woodiness to it as well. And there is, like I said, there's still a slight skankiness to it, but it works. It works in a weird way because it gives it this kind of like just interesting intrigue behind the fragrance. Yeah, I'm liking this. I'm liking $31. I would absolutely pick this up. The normal retail price, there's no way in heck I'd pick it up. But for the price I got it for, if you can get it cheap on discounters, I'd say go for it. But like I said, I'll give you all an update when I have a chance to actually wear it. And then what I'll do is I will do what I normally do, update projection, longevity, and how the dry down gets. But so far, so good. This smells good. Obnoxious or not, this is good. I'm certainly going to be wearing this winter, giving this a lot more wearing. Yeah, it's good. It's different, but I think a lot of what kind of threw me off at the beginning just wasn't really there. The citruses you can barely smell. You can smell on the initial blast. Watery notes aren't even really there. So you're just left with this kind of gourmand, spicy gourmand fragrance with a woody kind of undertone. And the woods are very, very much there, very prominent. But as it dries down, a lot more of the gourmand features start to come out. The vanilla and the chocolate become a lot more prominent. The incense is there as well, kind of giving this dark, kind of mysterious kind of vibe to it. And it's spicy. It's good. It's real good. Definitely unique.